Welcome to the Registry Insider. I'm Bill Seifarth, CEO for the National Registry of EMTs. And today I have the infamous or famous Dave Page joining me on an episode to talk about one of his passions, the Prehospital Care Research Forum. Dave is the director for the PCRF at UCLA. So Dave, thanks for joining me. I think this is the first time you've been on one of our episodes.
I know, I'm so excited. I am a 40-year EMS person and proud card-carrying member of the National Registry, and I think it's great what you're doing with these podcasts. So very excited to be here today.
Awesome. So obviously the topic today, we could talk about a lot of things, and we will, hopefully in future episodes, is the Prehospital Care Research Forum. And we're filming these episodes at EMS World Expo and the NREMT meeting in Indianapolis, Indiana. And the PCRF has a little bit to do with this. But before we get into those specifics, for those who may not know, tell us a little bit about the PCRF.
We are a nonprofit foundation whose entire mission is to assist EMS providers at all levels to both access, understand, and actually produce, create, do research in EMS. We want to advance our career with science. We want to do evidence-based practices in both clinical and educational EMS practices. We're a philanthropic wing of UCLA, and we're national, international. It is really actually a project that my great mentor, Baxter Larman, started in 1982. And we are by the people, for the people. So you don't need to have any fancy degrees or letters behind your name. We love EMS providers at all levels doing research.
Excellent. So you said you're for the people, by the people. So those who are interested in research, it doesn't necessarily matter if they have a PhD in research or not, but they can learn more about it. Yeah,
so especially if you're a clinician working on the street, it is essential that we understand the latest science. And we do journal clubs, two a month, one that's focused on clinical on the second Monday of every month, and another one that's on Fridays, the fourth Friday of every month. It's educational research, so how to be a better teacher. They are archived on YouTube, so if you miss it because you're on a shift and running a call, you can definitely tune in, and they're paired with an analysis of that particular article. We often bring in the authors to just discuss their motivation and how they were going about it, but have experts to rip apart the paper and find out if the research is really going to change our practice, if it has impact. The other thing we do, which any EMS provider can participate in, is a series of workshops. So come in with an idea, leave with a finished research project. And the idea is to leverage our partners who have data and have been collecting it, like all of the EMS providers in the world who are, like me, entering the PCRs. And now, especially with our partnership with ESO, we also have patient outcomes. So we know what happened to our patients. Big surprise. Now we can know if what we did actually worked. And are working with NEMSIS and NHTSA, with Weinman, with ImageTrend, to be able to access vehicle reporting data for ambulance crashes. That's one of the papers that'll be presented here. And in a matter of 2 days, people come in with an idea and they leave with a project. And it's kind of the instant gratification, speed dating of research. So anyone can participate, and we want people to come to these workshops. We announce them on our website, prehospitalcare.org. So please check in. We have one coming up in May in Austin, Texas with ESO, and can't wait to announce the rest for 2026. There'll be a lot of them.
Awesome. So you say people can come in with a concept, an idea, and leave with a project. Are they mentored throughout so they can understand the research process? Because there's a lot involved.
So we have 42 associates that are part of the PCRF that are interested in mentoring others doing research. And on top of that, when we do these workshops, we have a statistician, an epidemiologist, or someone who is incredibly gifted at analyzing data, as well as resources sources developers that can get data from some of these sources. But we also are blessed with a group of great facilitators and mentors who can understand the EMS side of things and the science part of things, and really empower the groups to actually achieve it. We do kind of a Shark Tank pitch, the idea that you think we're going to that will move the needle and bring the profession forward, and help the crew get that crafted into a hypothesis or a research question, then really decide what kind of a query they want to do. And sometimes those groups design prospective or future research projects that will result in bigger and longer term projects. So we're really actually following the footsteps of the National Registry in some ways. The fellowship has in a great way contributed some incredible researchers. Dr. Crow, Dr. Fernandez, Dr. Studnick have all been mentors in these workshops, and they're all graduates from the Registry's Fellows Project. So
good. I mean, obviously, the need for more research in the profession, you said to advance the profession, but also advance the individuals, and helping them to
absolutely.
grow as an individual consummate professional.
Yeah, and do evidence-based practices. If I do what I was doing in 1987 when I first started, I would be giving several amps of bicarb before starting the first compression and dropping an EOA on a cardiac arrest. And not many of my patients were living after that. I wonder why. So maybe as we learn what works and what doesn't work, we have to be aware and alert to some of those changes. And some of the things are just incredible. Dr. Wampler, who's also one of our mentors out of the University of Texas in San Antonio, he compared just alcohol preps underneath the nose compared to Zofran, so that even a provider that doesn't have access to the fancy medication could maybe take care of nausea and avoid some extra puke in the back of the ambulance. And guess what? Make the patient feel better. Well, imagine 4 alcohol preps underneath the nose, about equivalent to getting the medication and much quicker to be able to administer. So wave it underneath their nose, and we gave them an award for that. We will be giving awards for best research here, and the awardees get to travel to foreign countries to present that research, because we want U.S. research to be part of the world conversation and lead the way, or at least be a member of the community that's leading the way with evidence.
So you mentioned here, obviously at NEMT and EMS World Expo, but you have the International Scientific Symposium. So that's what you're alluding to, right?
Yeah, it's great.
Tell the listeners a little bit more about that.
So it's like a conference within a conference, and it's scientific. So in order to be able to participate, you submit research that's peer-reviewed and ranked, and then we publish it in Prehospital Emergency Care, which is the official journal of the National Registry, as well as the National Association of EMTs and a bunch of our professional organizations and AMSP. And that international symposium has people from all over the world presenting research. There's a top 10 abstract that came from Poland. There's last year, the best research came from Japan on cardiac arrest. And we have Costa Rica, Colombia, we have Thailand. It is really the UK, where it's impressive to see everybody come together to share what the best practices are and what we're learning about ambulance crashes and death of the occupants in a crash in the back of the ambulance, what we're learning about whole blood, or about our workforce and why women are entering or not, or staying or not in the profession. So there's everything from this year shark bites to major research on blood and other trauma techniques.
So a lot of clinical education, but also workforce. So a variety of topics. So how many countries are represented here this
13
year?
submitted and 8 were accepted, because not everybody, once you get the review, you rank them, and only the top ranked. But this is a banner year. This is actually a record-breaking year for us. We have 83 abstracts, which has never happened in the pre-hospital space for our forum. We see a lot of physicians doing research on EMS, and NAMSP has led the way. There's hundreds of abstracts each year. So for those that say there's no evidence out there, actually there is evidence.
It's out there.
Now we can really start to really refine it, improve it, and get more methodical and intentional about the kind of research we need to do to better the profession. But some of those myths are being debunked. Some of new techniques are being proved, and it's pretty exciting.
So the PCRF, you have the Journal Club podcast webinars. You have workshops. You have the symposium going on here right now.
Yes.
Where can people go to find out more about this, whether they be an educator, whether they be a clinician, or any aspect of the EMS profession? Where can they go? You mentioned the website earlier, but it's worth mentioning again.
Prehospitalcare.org, all one word, prehospitalcare.org. That is our redirect to the deep link inside the UCLA system. So prehospitalcare.org, and you can find us on YouTube. You can find us on LinkedIn. We announce our workshops and our webinars for the journal clubs there. Always willing to collaborate and have mentors standing by to help anyone who's interested in doing research. Tell us your topic, and there's a mentor that's going to be excited to be able to assist a person in how to get that to be a research project.
Fantastic. So go to the website. You can find out more. You can get involved. You don't have to have any research background, but you should be hopefully passionate about EMS, because that's what this is focused on.
And even just passionate about how to do better care. There's a comparison between manual ventilation and mechanical ventilators for cardiac arrest, not critical care, just cardiac arrest, and outcomes. And that was a project we did at a workshop sponsored by Weinman. The folks that came had no research background whatsoever, were mentored by Dr. Jarvis, one of the great minds around airway, one of our board members, and now here it is, top ranked in this International Scientific Symposium.
Fantastic. Well, Dave, thank you for spending time with me and certainly our viewers and listeners to talk a little bit more about what is the Pre-Hospital Care Research Forum and how people can get involved. It's quite exciting. It's helping to advance the profession. So thank you for what you're doing with that.
Thank you, and thanks for having the fellowship, and it's an honor to be here with you today.
All right. Thank you for joining us as well. And as always, stay safe. Thank you for joining us for this episode. If you wouldn't mind, please click the like and subscribe buttons, as well as the notifications so you can get notifications of upcoming episodes. Also, for the latest and greatest happenings of the National Registry, feel free to go to nremt.org. Thank you very much. And again, stay safe.